Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliana. I'm doing a get ready with me, talking about how I lost my hair. So if you want to hear the story and want to see how I came up with this look, please continue watching. Hope you stay. As I get ready, I'm going to tell you guys how I went from having this kind of hair to this kind of hair. Stay tuned. Let's start from the beginning. I've always had healthier hair, and I know that is a mega blessing, right? So let's go back all the way. Like, let's go back decades. I went to the kind of school where I had to cut all my hair off. From what you would call elementary to junior high to high school, I never got a chance to grow out my hair. I always had to cut it off. That was like a requirement for the schools I went to. Once I finished high school, it was a chance to fully grow out my hair, because now I had no one telling me to cut it off because there were no regulations to follow, right? So that's 18-year-old me growing up my hair, doing all the protective styles, getting it from literally like 1 inch to however many inches it was when I cut it off. I'm growing up my hair. I go to university. It's growing. It's all natural. I'm not doing anything to it. Yes, I would get it straightened like with a straightener. I had never used a chemical straightener, right? Okay, fast forward. I am now done with college and I have moved to Canada, right? So I have moved to Canada and I am fed up of doing my own hair. That laziness is kicking in, right? I go to my hairdresser that I'm going to at this point and I'm telling her I hate managing my hair. I think it's, I don't know, because first of all, I have a tender scalp. So the protective styles were really stressing my scalp out. Whenever I had to get my braids done, it's not even past tense, even right now, when I have to get my braids done, my scalp hurts so badly. I then I develop a fever and it's a whole 1 week of literal pain, right? And so I was thinking, okay, there has to be something better than this. Because so many times I would have these conversations with my stylist and I'm like, I think I want to sometimes just want to cut it all off because I don't think the pain is worth it. Who knew that that was foreshadowing the moment this year? Anyway, this is all happening, I think, a couple of years ago. So I'm researching online at some point and thinking, okay, what have other people done to manage their hair, right? Because I can't be the only one. I can't. You guys remember the natural hair trend where okay, not everyone, but like black girls, majority was leaning towards becoming natural hair girlies. It was such a trend, and because it was such a trend, there was no shortage of tips and tricks of how to take care of your hair. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry could learn how to take care of their natural hair. And that helped me a lot because I came from going to the salon for any kind, even shampooing, I had to go to the salon, to having to wash my own hair, to having to take care of it, to make sure it's hydrated, to, learning how to blow dry my hair. I know these sound like typical things, but when you didn't grow up doing your hair, these are not small things, okay? So I was so fed up. Of having to take care of my own hair all the time because I wanted to wear it out, right? I wanted to wear it out. I wanted to be proud of it. I was so tired of protective styles. I was so tired of spending the money. I know the irony. So I had these conversations with her. I was like, what if we relax? She's like, oh, your hair is too fine to be relaxed. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, but we can do something. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And she's like, we can do a keratin hair treatment. I'm like, oh, keratin hair treatment. Okay, explain. It explains it, right? So this treatment is not as chemical based, relaxing is. And so I'm thinking, okay, so this must be a better option, right? We discuss it. I'm there and I'm like, you know what, the next time I come back, because we're putting in a protective style. So I'm thinking, okay, the next time I come back, we are definitely doing keratin. She's like, really? I'm like, yes, please prep it. Because apparently she had to go to a different supplier and she didn't always have it on hand. I didn't really get into the logistics of it because, let's be serious, I didn't really care. And so, a couple of months go by and I'm like, okay, I'm so excited. Let's finally get that keratin treatment in. I book my appointment and I'm looking crazy. So I booked my appointment and things are set in motion. What was the keratin treatment like? So in my case, I don't know how other people do it, but this is what happened in my case. So what she did is she put a certain liquid on my hair, and then we had to let it sit for a couple of hours, wash that out, put another liquid. I had to sit in the dryer, then we had to wash that out, straighten the hair. I know, no, actually blow dry it, then straighten it, and then put another liquid, wash that out, and then straighten it again. And the result, I won't lie to you, was magnificent. Like, the result was so beautiful. I can't say that I regret it, because for a couple of years there I had really beautiful hair. And don't come for me saying that, oh, all hair textures are beautiful. I know all hair textures are beautiful, but we all have preferences for ourselves. And at that point, my preference was for a more stretched out texture, right? And there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm rocking. She tells me, yes, if we do this keratin treatment, so that means you can go at least 6 months without having another treatment, 6 to 8 months, right? And that to me was literal gold, because you're telling me that I can hold a hairstyle for 6 whole months, low maintenance. Are you kidding me? And I like the way it looks. And what? It was not a hard sell, if I'm being honest. It was definitely not a hard sell. So I go home, I'm all happy. Keep in mind, I still have the fine hair. Generally, my whole body has fine hair. Alright, so the 6 months go, and I go back for another one, and it goes on and goes on, right? Now, where I suspect that things went wrong, that last time, the last 6 months, I believe, that I went back, it was way too soon, and she didn't let me know, or my hair had taken way too much buttering, because that amount of chemical and heat takes a toll. And then also there is the fact that I don't think I did my due diligence in making sure it was always hydrated. So doing the masks, making sure it's conditioned. Like, I definitely was a little lax with that, because again, the laziness, right? But yeah, that's when things started to kind of fall apart. At some point, I had so much new growth, like at the top, but then the rest of the hair shaft was a different texture. The comb passing through my hair would get the resistance from the newer growth, right? But then it would get to the stretched out part of the hair, and it would still have so much force, so it would just yank the hair out, so it was breaking. At first I was like, oh, it's okay, hair breaks, all hair breaks, right? Keep in mind, my hair had never broken, so I didn't even know what broken hair looks like. I just thought, oh, this has to be normal, because my hair doesn't break. Like, Juliana, come on, you think nothing is going to change after you've done all this? Get serious, you know? I don't. I'm in my Delulu era. I'm thinking, oh, I'm still going to be okay. Okay, wait and see, babe, wait and see. So as predicted, my hair continues breaking, right? So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, babe, this can't be real. You're losing so much hair. Okay, we have to do something about it. And so I'm now Googling, right, how to hydrate dry hair. And I'm thinking, now, obviously, you know, when you look back and you think, okay, I should have done this a lot sooner. Like, I messed up. I definitely messed up. I'm blaming my stylist. Like, babe, you're the professional. You have told me that this is too soon, let's do something else. Because maybe we could have put in a protective style. We could have just blow dried it and made it more manageable for me, you know. We could have done something else. But I believe she wanted the higher pay that came with the keratin treatment, because normal shampoo and style would have been, give or take, $50, right? But keratin treatment is closer to 300. So she's looking at a working paycheck, right? So obviously she's not going to warn me and be like, we're over processing, you need to wait. And I think that's what disappointed me the most, because I don't know, living in a city that is not super diverse, finding a hairstylist who can handle the texture of your hair is incredibly hard. So finding a hairstylist who then you lose trust for is sickening, right? Because if I can't trust you, then babe, you know. Let me do my eyebrows because I look hella crazy right now. I have to consider it for my eyebrows, sorry. Now that we're past the moment of hindsight is always 2020. Again, I know this story is kind of jumbled, but I'm remembering bits and pieces, right? During this time, I'm asking this lady that what are the tips and tricks of making sure my hair stays hydrated, and she's like, oh, we can do a hydration treatment, and I'm like, yes, let's do that. Thing with me is I don't mind spending the money if I'm getting what I'm paying for, because you have to spend money for what you want. Is like, that's the motto I live by, you know. You have to spend money to get what you want. But this lady wasn't giving me what I wanted, and I didn't even know that she wasn't. Ugh. Anyway, taking the L, I asked her, I feel like it's so brittle and so dry. At this point, I'm so scared of combing it. I go to her salon to like do shampoos and stuff. So I go like every week if I can make it, or like every other week, right? Don't shame me for not washing my hair. I don't sweat like that. So please, no. And so I'm asking her, I'm literally saying, oh my, I feel like it's so brittle. Like, what should I do, right? And she's saying, oh, we should do a hydration treatment. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then I would sit inside the steamer and stuff, being patient. I would go to the salon for at least 3 hours. And remember, this is what I didn't want. That's why I got the treatment, because I didn't want to be at the salon for hours, because braiding takes at least 4 hours, you know? And I don't know, moving on. The hydration would work for like that week, and then my hair would feel brittle again, and I would hate combing it, because when I comb it, it drops out. Well, this is going on, like this cycle is going on. I go in, I tell her we need another hydration treatment. At this point, I don't even know if she was trying to rehydrate it, because I don't trust her anymore. So it gets to a point where I'm so tired of it, you know. I'm thinking I should definitely cut it. Like this, like I'm going to the salon, but it's not helping. So then why am I even going? Because I'm spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I get this epiphany. I'm like, there has to be another black salon in the area. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to search for another salon that can do black hair. There has to be one. I get on everything. I get on Instagram, I get on Google, I get on TikTok, and I find this one salon. And I go to her because, you know, I'm thinking, okay, maybe let's get a different perspective. Because if I get a different perspective and the other lady is doing nothing wrong, then maybe I'll go back to her, right? Wrong. So I get to this new salon, and they do the initial, like, taking for a new customer and stuff. And she's asking me, she's like, okay, what do you need? And I'm like, so this is what's going on with my hair. I did the keratin treatment. And she's like, why would you do the keratin treatment? Like, and I tell her, because I needed to make my hair more manageable. And she touches my hair and she says, oh honey, this is too processed. And the way she said it, with such pity in her eyes, like at that moment I knew that I would have to chop all my hair off. But you know, when you're still thinking it can be saved, they can still do something to save it, you know. I'm not giving up all hope. The hope was gone. I just didn't know that the hope had left the building. She's telling me, let's see, you know, let's see what we can do about it. But it's so processed, and it's definitely not healthy. I mean, I could have told you that it wasn't healthy. Like, my hair was so temperamental. She legitimately warned them to not use excessive force, to be extremely gentle with it, and we're not going to use heat. So we're not going to blow dry, because blow drying, you have to put tension and heat, right? And my hair couldn't handle that at that point. So they told them not blow drying. We're only going to do rollers and then sit me under the dryer, you know, the hooded dryer, at the lowest heat possible. So you know what that means. rollers sitting under the hood at the lowest heat possible. That means sitting for at least an hour. But I'm okay with that because they're doing something for me, you know? So I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. It's going to be fine. She does multiple treatments for moisture, for strengthening the hair and stuff. And I have a theory about that. At some point, you have to know that it's gone. Like there is only so much rehydration can do when the hair is already dead, right? When it's, anyway, like I said, Hope had left the building. I just wasn't aware yet. I get it styled. I love it. It's so airy. I think, oh, this is beautiful. Like with little tension and little heat, she made my hair look voluminous again. But this was the way the caveat was. She made it look so good that I forgot that it was breaking, right? So she styled it in a way where I couldn't see the middle part. So she made a side part and it was all voluminous and bouncy. So I couldn't see that I was getting a bald patch, to be completely honest. It's after the style has come down, because you know when you come home and then you have to sleep and the week goes on, the style disintegrates. So it's inevitable, right? So it's after the style has come down that I realize, oh my God, I'm going bald, you know? And I'm laughing now, but I was so freaked out. I was incredibly freaked out. Oh, you guys, you have no idea. Okay, obviously someone has an idea. But you see how men who don't even have to put so much into their hair get freaked out when they're going bald. Now imagine imagine a woman, because I'm not a girl anymore. Imagine a woman going bald. The freak out was real. I went through so many stages. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to shave my head right now. Like, I don't even care. I'm going to wear wigs and I'll be okay. Like, I'm going to go bald right now. Obviously, I didn't. But the next time I went back to this new salon, I told her, we need to cut it. She's like, no, let's wait and see. And I'm like, no, babe, we need to cut it. She's like, okay, I mean, I knew it was inevitable, but I wanted to grow it out a little bit. And so initially, I wanted to cut all of it off and just be done with it. But she said, let's do it in phases so that it doesn't all go at once. And I'm thinking, why are we even bothering to save anything? She's like, babe, trust me, let's do it in phases. And so I'm thinking, okay. So it went from like breast strap length to shoulder length. And I was okay with it, you know, because I'm like, okay, so it won't be so much of a tangled mess. No one tells you the thing about chemically straightened hair is how easily it gets tangled. Oh my goodness, it's such a pain. My natural hair also got tangled, but it was easier to detangle because it had its strength, right? It was still strong and healthy. So even though it got tangled, when you're trying to detangle it with conditioner or with oil, it was easier because it had its strength. But chemically straightened hair is already a little bit weaker. And then add on the fact that it was dead. So whenever it got tangled, whenever I would try to detangle it, oh my goodness, it would break. Like, you know, washing your hair and then you pump your hand through, you know, as you're shampooing, and every single time I would come up with clumps. Not just strands, but clumps of hair. Oh, you guys, no, that was unreal. So we do the first job and I'm okay with it, you know. On my way home from the salon, I called my sister, I called my friends, and I'm like, guess what? They're like, what? I'm like, I cut my hair. And they're like, oh my goodness, how could you do it? How could you do that? Your hair was so long. And I'm like, you guys, it was not healthy. It was a whole funeral for my hair. Black girls love their hair. Black girls love their hair. So, you know, I shouldn't be surprised. So we go on, it's shorter. So now holding a ponytail is a little harder. So now I'm using claw clips. And this goes on for a couple of months. And the more I do the whole comb over, the more I feel like, you know, those middle-aged men. Oh, I'm sorry. Because my father is a middle-aged man. So no hate to the middle-aged men. We love you. Your daddies, we love you. Most of you anyway. The ones who are not creepy. Moving on. So you know those middle-aged men who just refuse to acknowledge the fact that they're losing their hair and they're always doing the little comb over, whereby, babe, we all see what's going on. So, take the leap, let it all go, because we can all see it. So I felt like that person who is refusing to let go of the fact that they are losing their hair. Oh, it's funny that I can laugh about it now because I was not laughing then. First of all, let me show you guys the length I chopped it to. I'm going to put the picture right there. That's the length I chopped it to. And so I go back after a few months, June of this year, right? June of this year, I go back and I'm like, babe, it needs to go. And she's thinking, no, you don't want to do all of it because then what are you going to do with your hair? It's so short. And I'm like, I'd rather have short, healthy hair than having dead hair. It's so stressful. I hate it, when you're at the office and someone comes to chat with you at your desk, and so they're standing and you're seated. I was so freaking self-conscious. The whole time I'm thinking, they're looking at my hair. They can't see the bald patch because they're right above me. Oh God, like we're discussing things and in my mind is racing. I'm watching where their eyes are going. I'm thinking, they're definitely looking at my hair. They're definitely looking at the top of my head thinking, oh God, this girl is like fighting to hold a ponytail, but there's no hair left. We've all seen those memes when when the girl's trying to hold a ponytail and it's like this short. The thoughts that were going through my mind, it had to go. It had to go. And I told my mom, like the weeks to all this, I was telling her, Mommy, I have to chop my hair off. And she's thinking, no, just do treatments. It's going to get better, They all thought, oh, she can't chop it off. She surely cannot chop it all off. Have you met me? Well, you guys have not met me, but have you met me? So, guess what? I went to the salon and I told her it all has to go. And she said, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm sure. She's like, okay. And so, snip, snip, snip. We snipped it off. We snipped it off. I thought I would cry because when she showed me, the little band of hair gone, I thought I would break down and cry, but I didn't feel anything. I think I had gone through the mourning process prior to that, so I didn't even feel anything. I was just like, it's time, it will grow back. If I could grow it this last time, I can grow it again, right? So yeah, that's that's how I lost all my hair. At that point, they couldn't. You see, I get into story time and then I forget that I was getting ready to begin with. I chopped it so short that it couldn't even be braided, right? That initial time. And so she asks me, she's like, okay, so now what are we going to do? And I'm like, what do you mean, what are we going to do? She's like, well, it's too short to grip. And I said, babe, we're going to find a braider and we're going to corner this. We're going to corner it down and we're going to snap a wig on. That's what we're going to do, okay? She's like, okay. So I sit there for a few more minutes and she finds one of the ladies who can grip shorter hair. And lo and behold, she was able to grip it. We were able to corner it down. We had to use extensions because it was so short. And then I put a wig in. And it just got to an easier to grip length recently that I could do the braids. And I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about how short it is, but I'll get over it, It's just hair, it grows back. But I think I'm going to take you guys on my journey on how I'm going to grow it back. I'm going to try all the fads. I'm going to try the rosemary oil, the rosemary water, the rice water, all that stuff. I think I'm going to try it out. And then I'll tell you guys what works and what does not, because now I'm starting from scratch. You can't say, oh, your hair was already longer to begin with, so it doesn't even count. This whole story is not to say that I'm beefing with the keratin treatment. I'm definitely not. But what I think I would do differently is maybe go to a more established place, because a more established place will have more to lose if something goes wrong with your hair. Meaning they're going to at least be more knowledgeable about what they're doing because they don't want to destroy their business. I love supporting smaller businesses, but at some point, I think I have to let them go, because girl, she did me dirty. She really did. Hydration is such an important point, and I wish she had told me that, because then at least I would have kept up with it. At least I hope so. And as I have the crazy unblended lips. And at the end of it all, though, I think why I really, because I try to look for the silver lining in every situation. And in my situation, at least, I got to find a gem of a salon. Like my current stylist, oh my goodness, freaking unmatched. That lady is so knowledgeable about what your hair needs, and she'll be frank with you. She's going to be like, okay, this is going to take longer, or if you want to go the shorter route, you can do this, but it's not as healthy for your hair. At least she lets you decide. She gives you the information, and then you can decide what route you're going to go. God bless that woman. God bless that woman. Anyway, things happen, right? Anyway, that is the story of how I had to cut off all my hair. How I lost all my hair, really. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.